welcome back. So today I'm in Brookville, Pennsylvania, and we are at Quiet Creek Herb Farm. And we're gonna do a little bit of a tour. It is a little bit earlier in the year, so most stuff isn't really, blossomed out yet, but there are some things and you'll be able to see what goes on here. So this is one of my favorite spots to come to, and it's cool. I started coming here like 3 years ago. It's about 2 hours from my house, so I'll stop by, but we'll be showing you guys. Back here in the barn is the shop, which I'll also show, and here's the greenhouse, but that is just what you see when you pull in here. There's other spots we gotta show you guys, but this is Rusty, and if you want to explain, just roughly, I know you said
sure,
field trips come here to experience things, and
yeah, we're Quiet Creek Herb Farm, and Skoll Country Living is 30 acres in western Pennsylvania, and we've been here about 28 years and been a nonprofit for about 25 years. And so we do education. I say everybody from pre-K to gray, and so we have school groups come out and we show them different sustainable lifestyle techniques.
Okay.
Like organic gardening and medicinal use of herbs, and we have solar and wind power. We do earth and building. We do all kinds of food preservation and canning, and I guess that's
all kinds of life skills, guys.
Yeah.
And I want to also mention, guys, it's very pretty out here. Just that way, you can start to see where the trees raise up. There's all kinds of hills through here. It's just really cool. So this is just the front here, and we'll start going around and you'll be able to see all the things here. So I'm not sure where we're starting yet, but we're gonna do a little tour.
This is the front of the greenhouse. You can see some mosaics that the kids do when they come. We always have one of these in process. And basically they're just taking stained glass and gluing it on an old patio door, but they have a lot of fun creating and making art. And we have a solar array here that between the solar here and up on the hillside and the wind turbine, we produce most of our electricity for the farm. We have this bank here that's retaining the earth and growing some sedums there, and this is our greenhouse where we grow all our starts. Everything in the greenhouse we started from seed or from cuttings, and so all the vegetables and herbs are started in here and then moved out into the garden. This space was just built 3 years ago, and it's been really good for the education for the kids. They've come in. The school group from Brookville came and planted their own strawberry plants this year, and helped with learning how to become a greenhouse manager and learning about pest control and doing cuttings on plants and how to do clones and growing other plants. When we started about 30 years ago, we brought 100 different herbs back from Seattle, where Claire was going to graduate school. And we bought the farm and we started growing. And from those 100 plants, we still have probably 40 of those that we're growing, and we've introduced some more, but we grow medicinal and culinary herbs as well as ornamental flowers and herbs. So we offer these for sale early in the year, and then put a lot out in the herb garden. We have a perennial herb garden that we have been maintaining for 30 years. And some of the original plants are still there, and we use those as mother plants. We spend the summer cutting and drying the herbs, and then later in the winter, we'll use them for tea, making teas and herb mixes and soaps and salves.
All right, guys, so we're up at the perennial herb garden, and Rusty's gonna show us around here.
Yeah, so this has really grown over the years, and we like to have something blooming all seasons if possible. So Claire's really loaded it up with flowers, and the kids love to come up and experience. Almost every kid that comes to Quiet Creek, we have them pick a Johnny Jump Up or one of these Viola tricolors and eat it. It's really good. Kind of tastes like mint. But I had a kid come it's been about 3 years now, but he came and he said, he got off the school bus and he came over and he says, my mom was here when she was a little kid and she ate flowers. Are we going to eat flowers today? And I said, yep. So everybody gets to eat a flower, and they have more vitamin A and C than spinach. So we encourage people to eat the flowers, but teach the kids only to eat what an adult tells them to eat. So,
Yeah.
so they don't eat something bad. We have some thymes growing here, and sage. Sage is just coming out to bloom, and that tree is an Asian pear. We just got back from serving a year in Japan, and that was our favorite fruit over there, was the Asian pears. They just taste like honey. As far as pollinators go, this is Angelica, and when it flowers, it doesn't have a really distinct flower. It's kind of, but it is loaded with pollinators, all kinds of bees and little flies. Whenever it's in bloom, it attracts a lot of beneficial insects to the garden. We love the Angelica.
I like the butterfly house in there.
Yeah. And then this is kind of our culinary circle. Has oregano and mountain mint and winter savory here, which is a nice peppery herb that is evergreen, comes back every year. And
You got some hummingbirds fighting.
oh, nice. Yeah.
Do you have any secrets to containing mint?
No, just eat them.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's a really nice spot here, though, guys. There's the horseradish, which you definitely want that boxed in. But I'd love to have an aerial shot here. As you can see, there's the main building, but this is on a little bit of a slope here, and that goes around kind of like a nautilus almost. But you guys ought to see it whenever everything starts really
The shade garden's pretty nice right now. It's kind of, and this red lupin, I love that.
Yeah. It's almost like it fades almost. What kind of, is that a holly bush or what is that?
Yeah, this is holly, and it has some hops that are trying to take over.
Oh.
We need to. We had a trellis here that needs rebuilt, so the hops are lying in wait for the.
I just learned something new. I didn't know hops was a perennial.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful. It's a vine. It really needs to be going up. And when it's spread on the ground, it won't produce its flower. So it needs to be up and elevated to get the strobials to flower. But the hellebore is really nice this year, and the columbine. And the slugs haven't gotten to the hostas yet, so it's nice.
I can't believe all the. That's majoram?
Yeah, it's like.
Okay.
Yep.
It looks like oregano.
Yep, it is an oregano.
Oh, okay.
It's the same genus. It's just a different species.
I love the ferns too.
Yeah, and these are ostrich ferns, which you can eat the fiddleheads when they come up.
That's when they first start, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And they're shaped like the top of a fiddle.
Gotcha. Wanted to just add in this giant rhubarb, guys. I know the Amish farming has big rhubarb, but I wish I even had half of that.
This is a pergola, actually, that was built by a student for his senior project. And he came over and built this. And it supports wisteria vine. And then at the end, we have hardy kiwi. Has a little bit of everything growing on it.
Guys, I will be looking in the comments. Someone knows what that is. Multiple of you know what that is on the mural. Now, was this done by?
That was done by students, yep.
Oh, okay. That's really cool.
Yep.
Let me know what that is, guys. There's some more there. This is a really nice project, though. Quite
Yeah.
a little bit of effort.
Yes, yep. I had the foundations ready, and I'd ordered the lumber, and we figured out how to do it, and had a volunteer from Pittsburgh come up, who was actually an engineer. Tin knocker, he called himself. He designed cooling and heating systems. He has a camp up here, and so he and this young man basically put this up in a day.
Man.
So pretty nice. So this is a medicine wheel that was built by a friend, Dennis Bussell, many years ago. And it's from his Native American upbringing in the Salagi Nation, the Cherokee, out west in Oklahoma, and it I don't know if I can do it justice in explaining it, but basically it's divided into 4 quarters, which stands for 4 seasons, and also the 4 seasons of a person's life. And so each quadrant stands for spring, summer, winter, or summer, fall, winter, and then so it's the child, the infant, the adolescent, the adult, and the elder, and Dennis would use this as a counseling tool, actually. And so basically the center is the creator stone, and I've kind of put my twist into it that it's Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. And so this is a Father, the big stone, and then the water stone is from Rhode Island. Kind of neat, and this is what I believe to be a meteorite. It weighs about 20 pounds. And so anyway, it's kind of a fun tool. Every rock stands for a different virtue, like trust. I believe a mineral associated with it. So there's many levels to this.
Very cool.
So we have this in honor of Dennis.
All right, guys. So this is Sweet Sicily.
Sweet Sicily.
So just eat this whole.
Yeah, you can eat the seed.
Okay.
It tastes like a good and plenty. The whole plant is. You can eat the leaves. The stems are hollow. Aren't they? Isn't that crazy?
It tastes like licorice.
It tastes like licorice. Yep. And it's nice because it grows in the shade. Actually, this shows 2 really good plants that grow in the shade. The Sweet Sicily, kind of like a fern, and then the lower in the back, that is sweet woodruff. So 2 sweet herbs that grow in the shade. So at Quiet Creek, we grow a lot of different mushrooms. I've really become a fungal fanatic in the last couple years, and so these are oak logs that we have inoculated with shiitake mushrooms, and basically we drill the log, fill it with mushroom spawn, the mycelium or the roots of the mushroom, and then it colonizes the log and produces fruit, which what we call the mushroom is really the fruiting body of the mushroom. So we have different mushrooms that we grow here. We grow, like I said, we grow shiitake. We also grow nameko, which is a slimy Pholiota mushroom. And it's grown a little different. It's grown in the ground as a raft. We inoculate the logs the same way, but then we lay them in the ground. And once we know that it's colonized, we'll cover that over with soil. And then they grow up and they look like that picture there. They're little slimy red buttons, but it's what the Japanese use in miso soup.
Oh, okay.
So they're really good. When you cook them, they lose their sliminess. They're really nice, crunchy mushroom. And there's another mural, a mushroom mural. We're all mushroom.
I see you like a lot of things from Japan.
Yeah, well,
Taking some inspiration.
we have been inspired by very beautiful people and friends in Japan. Right, yeah, so we grow them under the pine trees so they have year-round shade and out of the drying winds of winter. And also it gives the spawn a head start whenever it's growing, because when you fill the log with that mushroom, you want it to be the first mushroom to colonize that log. And there's so many other spores floating around the air that but in a pine forest, the spores that are in a pine forest are spores that are mushrooms that are going to be eating pine. And so the things that eat oak logs are in the oak forest. And so this gives the shiitake mushrooms a head start growing in pine trees. We could walk over and see if there are, these are a little older logs, but in our newer logs, whether they're fruiting or not, I'm not sure. So this is one of the favorite, most used things at Quiet Creek is that tire swing. We have kids, as soon as they get out of the car, they run up here, they want to swing on the tire swing. And it's moved around the farm, but we've always had it up, and the kids sure love it. And just about everywhere you look, you see those stained glass murals that the kids have done. So the mushrooms we grow here are called lion's mane, or the Japanese word for them is Yamabushi taki. And that means, taki means mushroom, and Yamabushi is mountain priest. So it's the mountain priest mushroom. And they grow typically on sugar maple and beech trees. Just not the right season for them yet. Then we grow several different colors and kinds of oyster mushrooms, as well as the reishi mushroom we grow in the ground up,
Are those slate
there.
signs that you guys made, or?
That's these slate signs are one of our apprentices a few years back. Her name is Annalise from Minnesota. She painted all these signs for us. So we have an apprenticeship program where college-age kids will come and do what we do learn what we do on the farm, and spend either 6 months to a year learning what we do and how to do it. And that's been we depend very heavily on volunteers and on apprentices and interns to keep the farm going. Like I said, we're a nonprofit, and so we have to write grants or or get donations to keep the farm functioning. There's only, I see, one small, measly couple mushrooms growing here. Just this log has a couple too, but you never know. You can force the logs, you can soak them and thump them and get them to grow. But we have so many logs, we probably have 500 logs going
I know this section
at one time. And yeah, as you see, it goes the whole way out to the road. So, yeah, so we just, because so many other things are happening on a farm, we just walk through and check the logs every couple days instead of forcing logs because we have enough other things to do. And now it's dying and it's shooting reishi mushrooms. This is the hemlock reishi. So it would be Tsuga.
So these are these were just.
Yeah, these are just naturally coming, but they're just starting to pop. I hadn't noticed these before, but it's going to be loaded with it.
Do they get big?
They'll get big, and they'll get size of a dinner plate. And so it's Ganoderma tsugae. So we could go down to the yurt if you want. Yeah, so we have a storage shed. The outdoor wood burner there heats all our hot water for the barn and heats the barn. And this here is our compost for all our human waste. We have composting toilets, sawdust toilet. We do what's called the Joe Jenkins Humanure Handbook method. Joe Jenkins is from over around Slippery Rock, and he wrote the book called the Humanure Handbook that has been published in hundreds of different languages, and there's lots of YouTube channels about Joe's. But this is our Humanure Hacienda.
You have to say it doesn't smell.
It does not smell, yeah. And there's 3 years of human waste right here. And basically, you follow 3 basic rules. Cover your waste with sawdust. You never let it touch the ground, because if you let it touch the ground outside, there are parasites and pathogens. And you always wash your hands. If you can smell it, you don't have enough cover on it. And so basically, this has been here 3 years. This is 3 years old, and it has just turned into black. It's basically just sawdust and humus. We don't use this on food, though you could use it on food. We just use it on our landscape trees and things.
Those are morning glories in there too?
Yeah, unfortunately, we have morning glories and we have Jerusalem artichokes. Yeah, so these are our vegetable beds down here, and we grow all our own vegetables and some fruit. So we have raspberries down here. We also have strawberries. That's the garlic crop that we'll harvest in July. But it gives kids good experience on organic growing in compost. And I think that's about all I can say about that. So this is called hugelkultur. This is, we dig a trench, fill it with logs. So this year we put a lot of our old spent mushroom logs down in the trenches, and then we cover it with some leaves and small twigs and brush, and then soil, and then compost on top of that. And it becomes a little like coral reef for the microorganisms, and a giant sponge holds in all the moisture and helps. It'll slowly molder down, but constantly supply good beneficial bacteria and fungus to the plants. Kinds of red raspberries, and we have a bed of golden raspberries, which are like honey.
All right.
Yeah, so this is lavender that wintered over. There's a little bit of winter kill on it, but it's coming back now. There's two different kinds here. There's Hidcote and there's a hybrid called something. How's that? We grow our hot weather vegetables in the high tunnel. So we have some tomatoes and peppers started. The lettuce will burn out, but we had it for the winter. We'll also put eggplants and the hardy or the hot loving herbs in here like lemon, verbena, basil, stevia, lemongrass. And we also have some figs here. We're still in the middle of
I just planted
spring.
a Chicago hardy fig.
Did you? Okay,
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So this is an old variety of garlic that I got from an old Italian guy, but it's actually a German hardneck garlic, and it is we planted in October, and it winters over outside, and then it is harvested in July. So we built this pond about 5 years ago, and we're steadily trying to get it to hold water. Unfortunately, it still is leaking, but hopefully in the next couple of years we'll get it sealed up. Stores the water during the winter time, and we pump water clear up to the top of the hill where the wind turbine is, and store it in 3,000 gallon tank up there, and then gravity flows down to the garden, and we're able to water the garden all by gravity. So in the middle of the summer, whenever our spring is running low, we have that 3,000 gallons of water to water the garden. And it's pumped by that little solar panel right here. That little solar panel pumps water to the top of the hill. So no electricity is being used.
All right, whenever.
Yeah, just watch your head on this corner here, because it's a little sharp. But this is a little earthen building project that we did. These benches are made out of clay and a mixture of beeswax, linseed oil, turpentine, and flour, like wheat flour, like. So these are angel wings. So if you sit down here, then all of a sudden you become an angel. So
That's pretty cool.
and then
The bottom.
then that's a well, and we tried to. He's got some barnacles growing on him, lime plaster. So this is a yurt. It's a 30-foot yurt, which is just a glorified tent, basically. Has a clay floor, and underneath this clay are 5,000 beer bottles. And here's our truth window for that. And so basically the bottles are underneath the floor for a thermal break. So it's keeping the cold from coming up and keeps the heat inside the yurt. Then we have a little composting toilet over here, but it's made from a bottle brick wall and earthen plaster. And you can go inside there. It's pretty nice when the light shines through the bottles.
Yeah.
And that dragonfly was a fun project. But basically that's just a sawdust toilet. And yurt is another place we use as a classroom. We also sometimes have interns to sleep there, or Airbnb sometimes. And then while I was gone, I came back, and this this nice deck appeared. So, yeah, absolutely. You can drive a truck. You could drive your truck on this, Nick. It's a nice sturdy deck that they built while I was gone. So, yeah. So this is the Quiet Creek of Quiet Creek. We have 10 acres of woods and a nature trail that circles around through the woods, and it's another favorite part of the kids to be able to get out and in nature and experience the trees, the birds, and some of the wild plants that are out there. Yeah, so the back of the barn here, we have a straw bale addition. It's built out of straw bales and clay off the farm, and it's finished with lime plaster, and it's actually under repair right now. So inside's not so great, but maybe you can also see what it's made of. And you can edit out the bad parts.
Oh, that's good. No, that's very cool.
Yeah, so it has a slate floor and has a lot of neat additions to it. But like I said, it had some holes in it, so we're repairing it. Yeah, so we had some holes here, so we just are going to had to open up the plaster. They're easy to repair though, because you have, it's just earth. And here, this shows the steps, and unfortunately everything's kind of, but this shows the steps. It's on gravel filled bags for foundation. It's a rubble trench foundation, gravel filled bags on top of the foundation. Then mud, just clay and straw mixed together in a pit, smeared onto the bales of straw here. So it's bales of straw, clay slip, mud and straw, and then the finished plaster is the sand and clay, and then lime plaster around the windows where it's going to get water.
It is very cool in here, guys.
Yeah, and this is actually the cutaway of it.
I'm just saying, guys, I'd live in here. It's like a Forest Hobbit home.
Yeah, so this is the Quiet Creek gift shop, and basically it's an overflow of classes that we teach. So we teach medicinal use of herbs, making salves, making teas. We teach a lot of nutrition and culinary classes. We teach soap making, and so we have about 13 different kinds of soap that we make. And we do a lot of mushroom. We teach mushroom growing classes and then medicinal use of mushrooms. And so this is the reishi I was telling you about. This is that we grows out of the ground. This is the oak reishi, and this is the mature hemlock reishi that's just popping out of that dead tree up there. Some wild harvested turkey tail, and yeah. Have you seen the upstairs classroom? Ooh, come on up.
Well, this is the shop in here, guys. So, I recommend the soap for sure. Any of the soap, it's really good. Whenever we went on my camping trip, I had like 2 bars of it.
Yeah.
Because we had a cabin, and I love the soap. It's like,
This one's for poison ivy relief.
oh, okay.
Because it's made with jewelweed. And we have one made with mushrooms. This is our rosemary chicken chaga soap. And so it has rosemary, chicken of the woods, and chaga mushroom in it. Chicken of the woods has been shown to be very antibacterial, especially against MRSA. And this is, just watch that be. This is our indoor classroom. And so we we have lunches up here, but also it's a place for the kids to learn inside during the winter. And this is our herb closet where we cut and dry and store the herbs during the summer, and then we make product out of them in the winter. And on the third floor, we have a library loft where pretty big library of books that we've collected over the years on many subjects. And I told you the tire swing was the most used thing. This is the second most used tool at Quiet Creek, and this is the herb dryer. So basically, this is heated with outdoor wood burner, and then there's shelves.
That's what I need.
Yeah.
I use my tiny little dehydrator, and
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
it takes a bit.
Yeah, we can dry about 13 bushels of herbs in here. So this is an indoor beehive. The bees go in and out, but it's fun. It's a nice observation hive for the kids to see. And they have fun trying to find the queen. But that hive has grown. When we came back in February, there was just about a fistful of bees in there.
That's a healthy hive.
And they've really built up, hatched out, and yeah, it's doing really well.
All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed. I'm holding the microphone because mine died a while ago. But I appreciate Rusty for showing me around. There's multiple things I did not know were here. So it's really cool knowing that when the field trips come here, there's all of that stuff to get into. Because it's like for kids, it has to be interesting. You know,
It's true.
It's got to be a little interesting. It's definitely interesting here. There's so many cool things. And definitely, please, if you're in the area, stop here. I will have the information link below, as well as there's Facebook, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Facebook's going to be below, and then as well as, everything about here. That'll be first thing in the description. So please check it out. If not, if you're really far away, I hope you had some inspiration out of this. Definitely, if you're in the area and you have kids, or even if you don't have kids, you should check it out. So I appreciate it,
Thanks, Nick.
and thank you. So